Call this meeting to order.
Time?
6:01.
Okay, let's have roll call. Director Davis.
Here.
Director Beatty.
Here.
Director Green.
Here.
Director Smiley.
Here.
Director Sangster.
Here.
Full board. Any approval of the regular meeting agenda?
I'd like to ask some questions before we do that regarding the agenda. These agendas seem to get really, really large, and tonight we're going to discuss, where is it? I better look at this one.
There was a few things asked at last board.
The handbook, chapter 5.
Yeah, that's the
We're reviewing a single page.
printing your board packets.
What's that?
It's about printing the board packet?
It's about board packet in general, no matter how you deliver it.
Right.
My question is when you're gonna discuss the material in one chapter, why are we filling the book with the whole handbook?
Let me answer that. Because previously, we've been asked to have the whole packet, so we can all flow, and a red line.
Well, everybody here has a board packet.
Right, and that's
I
been the
mean,
case.
sorry.
One way or another.
Board handbook.
Handbook, I'm sorry.
That's been the case before, but it's also been asked before to have it in there so that there's the holes.
Well, let's get a consensus from the board. You guys need to see the whole handbook when we discuss.
So
one
we
thing.
can discuss that at that item. This is just to approve
Okay.
the order of the agenda.
Okay, so in that case, I'd like to request that we move board member comment to item, what is it? 8.9?
So right
Move it
now,
before the GSA board action items. I'm not going to be able to stay for the entire meeting,
okay,
but I do have some board comments that I'd like to share.
That pertain to something that's not on the agenda. If it's regarding the board handbook, then
No,
we can talk about it.
no, it's not. It's not.
Okay.
I'm bringing that up during approval of the,
so we're moving 10 to 9.
well, I'm requesting it.
Yeah.
Get it.
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion, right, to do that?
Yeah, so a motion by Director Green, we have a
Second.
second by Director Sangster. All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed?
No.
Anyone?
So motion passes. So number 10, board comment will be before the GSA board action items.
Yeah. Okay.
Pledge of allegiance.
Hold on, wait. We didn't actually approve the
Agenda.
agenda.
I thought it was all in one.
Let's do this.
Well, just for making sure it's safe.
As it states now,
Yes.
can I have a first approval of the meeting agenda as amended?
Motion to approve.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing none.
Okay, church, pledge of allegiance. Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment for items not on the agenda?
Yes, thank you, board. My name is Rick Greenwald from Preston. I wanted to give the board just a short little thing that's happened since 2002 through 2023. Just something for the board to kind of have in their mind when we're talking water issues and different things that the county and the agencies have done. So in 2002, we had a final basin study report. We had 94,000 acre feet. In 2005, we had a final report on the basin study phase of 97,700 acre feet. In 2005, there was a thing called the prior agreement, which you guys are a signatory to. 2007, we had an update on the basin for Todd Engineers. In 2008, we had a water banking final study, which the other night we just redid that study for another $300,000 on state water. In 2009, we went into what's called Assembly Bill 3030, which was a groundwater management plan where the county got $277,000 plus from the DWR, and we had no problems with our basin, and the DWR was in charge. And AB 3030 was Sigma without teeth. Exact same stuff. 2010, I have a letter from the county to the city stating that, yeah, we have 97,000, almost 98,000 acre feet of water available. 2010, I have a letter right over here, if you want to see it, backing that up from the county to the city. 2010, I have an email from the Public Works Director, Pablo Ogren, to Gibson about how they need to watch out for the landowners because they can protect their water rights. And we need to watch that because we don't want them to protect their water rights. So I have that email right here. 2011, we have a basin management plan from GEI and Kugro stating that all the other things were correct. 2012, I have a letter from the city again from Paso Robles. Yeah, we have almost 98,000 acre feet. 2013, I have a city again, a letter from the city of Paso Robles from Jim App to revise. Now the 98,000 acre feet is 90,000 acre feet. So now, 2013, we have an update from Geoscience and Todd Engineering, the same engineers and all the other stuff. Now we have 90,000 acre feet. 2014, we have an update, we still have 90,000 acre feet, same two guys. 2014, we do this thing called CASDM monitoring. And the Paso Basin is a 14.3, which is the lowest of the medium range. If you're 14, you're low. We were just basically barely over low. 2014, I have a letter from the State Water Board, the executive director stating that he has no technical information to say our basin's in trouble. He saw an ad. 2015, 90,000 acre feet from Geoscience. 2015, a letter from Dave Mathis of the Department of Water Resources saying, hey, you guys don't want to be a basin in trouble, but if you do, we'll give you 250 grand. Guess what? We got 250 grand. 2016, McGovern says, all of a sudden we have 30,000 acre feet less water. My time is up. I'll finish this later. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other public comment for items not on the agenda? All right. Move on to non-district reports. Any San Luis Obispo County organizations? Yes, no. Community service organizations?
Good evening, Scott and Central Firefighter Association. Update on our parade. From our perspective, it went very well. It was well attended. H-70 landed without incident. People got to visit the airship and meet the flight crew, which was very educational. It's a great opportunity for exposure. The parade had quite a few attendees, a lot of vehicles, and North County Santa was in tow in our vintage 1937 fire truck. We also had a very successful toy drive, and we had 343 children meet, greet Santa, and leave with the toy of their choosing. We currently have one firefighter in Allen Hancock Fire Academy that we're sponsoring through the academy to get his education to become a firefighter one. When he gets out, he'll spend time with us to complete his task books and move up the ranks, but it's a valuable asset. We have one firefighter that will be returning for the second half. He had to leave the last academy, but he'll be returning the second half of this academy. They both will be getting out in May, and that's thanks to the funds raised by the Firefighter Association to keep our community safe. We are planning the Sagebrush Days Parade and trying to coordinate that with the library to see if we can't combine the Dias del Niños and the Sagebrush Parade together to kind of have a more community cohesive event where people could travel from Mission Street up to the park and see the things that the Dias del Niño has to offer. So hopefully we're able to pull that off. And that's all. Unless you have any questions.
What's the date of the Sagebrush Days Parade?
We don't know yet. We're tentatively looking at the 26th. It's a little further down the road, but that's the day of the Dias del Niño. So there's a lot of stuff going on with Easter and everything else. So I think if we pushed it down towards the end of the month, we might have better attendance. We've tried to do it traditionally in the first or the second or third weekend, but that seems to be problematic for people leaving town. So we're going to try to adjust.
Great, thank you.
Next year, have Santa take off from the helicopter.
Okay, so I did get a approval for Mercier to deliver Santa. The problem with Mercier delivering Santa is we have to make sure it's the same Santa, so we get him on the roster so he's clear to fly. But if Mercier has to leave, like they did last year, they had interfacility transport, they had to bail out on us. So Santa could be stuck at El Paso Airport. We'd have to have somebody on standby waiting to shuttle Santa in. But we did get that authorization to make that happen.
That's so
It'd be
cool.
kind of cool. The problem is he has to land early. I'm not how happy he'd be about that. And it's a tight space, but he's former Navy. He'll be okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't know if there's a Navy at the North Pole.
Camp Roberts?
I did see Kyla Bird last night at the advisory council. I'm surprised she's not here tonight. So maybe if you re-engage her, she might show up to our meetings.
Okay.
Baird. I think is her name, not
Eva.
Baird.
Okay. Staff committee reports, general manager.
You want to have public comment on?
Oh, I'm sorry.
District?
Yes. Do them separate? Okay. Do we have any public comment on the non-district reports? No. All right, move on to the general manager's report, please.
Only have one thing really for you guys. For the new directors, we do need to make sure you get your ethics and sexual harassment training done. That's done through C.S.D. It's free. Unfortunately, each one's 2 hours long. If you need help or facilities to do that, please let us know and we can facilitate that. If you need help logging into your CSDA account, please talk to Tamara. She can help you do that. But it does need to get done within the first 6 months of taking office. So the sooner the better. And that's all I have for you.
So, just a question for anyone who was previously a board member. Would the CSD login information be the same, or is that wiped and you start fresh?
I think it's wiped and start fresh, but you use your, first thing you do is put your email in and put forgot password. So go from there. It'll just continue on.
Okay.
I did let them know all your emails, so.
Okay. And is there a link to the training that's required?
Yeah, I'll send it out to you.
Okay. Thank you. District Council?
There's nothing for me tonight, thank you.
Thank you.
Or unless anybody has any questions for me.
Anybody? No. Thank you.
Now things get less.
Thank you. District Utilities.
So you guys have my report. I have one thing to add. Earlier today, to get an email from the state that for their board meeting, for the water board, they have added the wastewater treatment plant to the fundable list for this fiscal year. So that means that now we can start moving, well, assuming that that list is approved at their meeting, I believe next week. Well, our representative will be able to continue processing our application. So hopefully that means we can get funded in the next 9 months to 12 months.
Good news. You say they're reviewing that next week?
So it goes, so we got the notice today for their board meeting. I believe their board meeting is on Tuesday. I would have to look. But it is prepared for them to approve.
And this is the $23 million grant?
Yeah, 23.446 million.
Okay. And is it contingent upon the state having funds, or?
Well, it's always contingent on that, but they generally won't approve it if they don't have some sort of funding to do it.
Okay.
And that was the holdup before. We were on the fundable list, but we weren't on the funded list.
Perfect. How about the fire chief report?
The fire chief's report is submitted as written, just with a couple caveats. It is very large because I have the year snapshot and the month snapshot all inclusive, so you can see how we were through the year and compared to the month of December. Currently in January, last year we did a taper off of calls, so we were down about 10%, which is a good thing. But it seems like since the first year, we picked back up pace and we're getting closer. We're still down slightly. In addition to that, I am participating in the multi-jurisdictional hazardous mitigation planning. It's a 5-year process. I don't know why it's a 5-year process other than funding is available via grant and they keep that process going. If we don't participate in that, we're not able to receive FEMA funds. And there was a survey that was put out. I got the survey at the meeting on the 14th, so we put the survey up on the website. There's a hard copy up there. If anybody wants to scan that QR code, participate in the survey, information has to be back by, I believe, the end of the month. They've only received 14 responses countywide, but they'll ask some questions of the public. There's a follow-up meeting in February sometime, and those are in-person meetings that happen down in San Luis. So the last one was on 14th, and we don't have a date for the next meeting.
So anyone from the public in the county can,
Excuse me?
anyone in the county can participate in the survey from the public, or?
Yes, the survey is available to anybody, for anybody. So there's a QR code. If you go to our website, you'll find that QR code. Tanner put it up, and then there's also a hard copy back there. You just want to hit it with your phone.
Okay. And so the
Take about 2 minutes.
benefit to the district, benefit to San Diego Fire?
Well, it's a benefit to San Diego Fire to participate in it because we need to express our concerns about our personal hazards that we're concerned with and to receive FEMA funds. It's a requirement. The county seems to think that a 5-year-old hazardous mitigation plan is long in the tooth, where we have a 16-year-old community design plan, which is in its prime. So if they pick and choose what age they like to see documents at. But the hazardous mitigation plan is an important document. It's an important process to participate in. It seems to be focused mainly on flooding and coastal areas, but we do have our hazards here, and I identified those.
Can we put an insert in the water bill encouraging people to scan the QR code and participate in the survey?
I think it might be a little too far down the road for that because it is due at the end of the month, and I did get it on the 14th, so they didn't really process that out. So we did what we could to put it out
That's
there.
like right there when we did it now.
And I could do some push out on social media as well. And the other side of that, we'll talk about that, is there's the starting construction on Wellsona and 101. Not really sure the depth of it, but it sounds like they're going to start staking and putting up barricades beginning the 29th of this month, and it's going to go on for quite some time. So that's going to be a higher level of hazard. We are going to extend our agreement to Wellsona since we are the closest resource, and we could be there long before anybody else. The county dispatch stops us if things are happening like Wellsona that's south, but we go to medical aids way out Wellsona to the east and west and everything else, so we need to be on that alert for traffic accidents, because there will be traffic accidents. The last time the highway was under renovation on the north end of town, it was during the winter. I'm not going to say a daily occurrence, but pretty darn close to it. People walked away from accidents when I was in base. So
Understood.
it's an increased level of awareness for everybody.
I did get a notice today. Did you get the notice with they're shutting down at night?
Yeah, I put that out on our social media
Okay.
platform, and we should put that on our
Yeah, give
on
it
our
to me
website
what
as
you
well.
got and I'll put it on the website.
So you shut down
Caltrans District 5.
both
so-
directions overnight?
They're closing down the highway at night or they're going to be doing mitigation at night to install barricades and do some paving. I think they're going to extend the shoulders. It's still really kind of, I think I have a handle on what's going on. It looks like they're going to extend the shoulders so they can start doing work. I don't really know the depth of it.
Yes, it's closure Wednesday, January 29th through Thursday, January
They're tunneling
30th,
underneath.
from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. So,
But that's the beginning stage.
yeah.
And then they're posting signs, if you north end and south end of town, there's signs that say, they're covered up now, Caltrans installed them, but it says like a pavement project is going to be completed in 2026. I really doubt that underpass is going to be completed by 2026, but I think it's a multi-level project that's going to happen, so certain things are going to happen, and then you're going to have to wait, it'll be phased. And I'll do my best to keep everybody apprised of what's going on and push out information as I get it.
Appreciate that.
They're not closing down the highway entirely, they're just doing one lane at a time.
Yeah, they're putting up barricades and they're trying to choke down the turn lanes and stuff like that. But you change things and what happens?
Yeah. Okay,
A scary one.
fair enough. Any board comment on any of the reports? Questions? Fair enough. Any public comment on the staff and committee reports? No. All right. We're moving to the action items. Number 1, monthly claim detail and investment reports for December 2024. So we received and file. Got reference.
Good evening. So the financials on page 85 through 139. Since we just finished Q4, there's the quarterly investment report included. I did want to bring a little attention to page 119. That's where our pretty color graph of revenue is for the year. Since half the year is done, this is a good time to see where we're at in regards to what revenue we've budgeted and what we've actually received. And then if you look at page 124, we've got the same thing for our expenditures. Halfway through the year, where we are, what's been spent and what we have budgeted to spend. These will be updated after the results of tonight's mid-year budget adjustment decision, but I think it's a valuable snapshot of where we're at. I also, since it's the beginning of the year, wanted to remind you that the staff report on page 86 and 87 shows all of our current projects, where they're at, what their status is, how much of the budget of it has been used, if it's something that's being reimbursed, how much of the reimbursement have we received to date. So if you have questions about the projects that are ongoing, you can see them on those 2 pages. Otherwise, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
I do have a question. Seems like most of them are relatively close to halfway, consider we're halfway through. Is there any reason that fire is so short of halfway?
In regards to revenue?
Revenue, yes, sorry.
Fire is primarily based off of property taxes.
Yeah.
And property taxes are collected twice a year.
Oh, okay.
We are about to get, well, technically we already got the second big payment,
Okay.
but that'll show in January.
Okay.
Still waiting for some reimbursements from OES as well for strike team, for one strike team assignment. And we recently received the reimbursement from the Office of Traffic and Safety for our purchase of our auto extrication tools. So that'll show next month, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay. Any board comments or questions? Anybody? No.
And, if there's a consensus to receive and file.
I'll need
You
public
cut,
comments.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Any public comment on this item? No.
So we just need a consensus to receive and file the claims detail and the financial report,
Okay.
or investment report, rather.
You have consensus to receive and file, gentlemen?
yes,
Yes? Yes.
yes,
Yes.
sounds good.
Okay. Move on to item number 2, adopt mid-year operation and maintenance budget adjustments by resolution 2025-02.
So this item is just to bring minor changes to the mid-year budget, or for the budget. Generally bring this in December or January. And some of the changes that you see on the budget pages are changes that were already approved. Those are, through other action. Those are listed on that report with the resolution numbers, if you're interested in seeing those. if you look at page 142, there's a breakdown of the general revenue changes and expense changes for each department. Overall, predominantly because of the change in the wastewater expenses in revenue, there's a net change in revenue of negative $719,031 and a negative, or a reduction in expenses of $457,092.
So it's a reduction of revenue by 722,000.
Pardon me?
What was it? Was a reduction in revenue as well?
So the reduction in revenue was $719,031. The reduction in expenses overall was $457,092. Again, the majority of that is due to relinquishing the Sigma grant. So that revenue and expense, that was the balance of that was removed.
Okay.
If you have any specific questions, we can go through them. It is fairly lengthy. I don't know if you want to go line by line, but. On page 145, there is a graph showing where the revenue and the expenses are, the budgets in relation to what we have today, similar to what's in the financial report.
Does the graph represent the proposed changes, or it's just estimated, received, and expenditure?
That's our current.
Okay.
So if you're looking at the chart in color, the gray is estimated revenue, the green is received revenue, and the orange is expenditure. So the gray is top, green is middle, tan and orange is on the bottom.
Okay. All right, any board comments and questions? Director Davis?
I was just looking at the water and the solid waste. No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Gentlemen? Nothing for you? All right. Do you have any public comment on this item?
Got a question, good answer. When Cheryl was here and I didn't see the information you had in your packet, but, so you said 700 and some odd thousand in the reduction of revenue, and that was due to a Sigma grant, is that correct? Was that what I heard you say?
Is that all? Is that your total question?
Yeah.
So I can answer that?
Please.
So the majority of that 719,000 is from the Sigma grant. It's essentially 690 something thousand. So there's
That's because of cancellation of the project? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
All right, back to the board. Does anybody care to make a motion? Anyone? All right, make a motion to adopt mid-year operation and maintenance budget adjustments.
So motion to adopt budget O&M budget adjustments by resolution 2025-02. So we have a motion by Director Sangster. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Yeah, you did, okay.
So a second by Director Beatty.
Yes, I have a motion on the floor to approve resolution 2025-02 by Director Sangster to adopt the mid-year operation and maintenance budget adjustments, second by Director Beatty. We'll have a vote. Director Davis?
Yes.
Director Beatty?
Yes.
Director Green?
Yes.
Director Wiley?
Yes.
Director Sangster?
Yes.
Passes 5-0, no absence.
Okay, moving on to the next item. Review proposal for certified public accountant services and authorize the general manager to execute a professional services agreement with Rogers, Anderson, Malady, and Scott LLP by resolution 2025-01.
So in October, the board authorized the release of an RFQ for the CPA services, which was due December 6th. Although some firms showed interest, we only received 2 proposals, which were both included in your packet, one from Rogers, Anderson, Malady, and Scott LLP, and the other from Vasquez and Company LLP. However, the one from Vasquez was received on December 9th due to their mailing method. Both of them are capable of doing the work.